Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Gonna give you guys a couple minutes to pop on. If you are watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Also, if you have registered, I will be emailing out the replay tonight. But you can always, I kind of like watching like the real replays if I'm you, because you can see other people's comments. You can actually engage in the video. For me, the replay always feels a lot nicer there. If you are on live with me, I see a couple people hopping on live, say hello. Let us know what company you are with, and tell me if you are on Facebook or on Instagram or on both, and what you are loving in the social media world right now, what you're having fun with inside of your business. You guys, this is going to be super, obviously it was a little impromptu. I was having just this massive session of like what I truly realized my purpose was in this world this weekend. I was reading a book that actually was not a business book whatsoever, but I just had this intense moment of clarity, and I always knew what my next workshop was going to be. In fact, if you were in Activate, you likely also know what my next workshop is going to be. But I had this moment this weekend that was like, and I need to work with women on building brands. And it's amazing because the next workshop is actually called Content Creator. And I felt like this was like that, like jumping off point, right? Like, how do you create content if you haven't started to build out your brand? And so I wanted to run this masterclass today, whether or not you're going to join us inside of Content Creator and like really take your content to the next level, or not. I really do want to get your brain start working towards building a brand. And it's funny because I also ran this exact same masterclass about this time last year when I started to see, I got a new phone and the pop socket on it is clearly not lined up perfectly, and it always kind of goes like this, and it drives me a little up the wall. I think I might need to order a new one just so that I can put it on properly, so I don't have to keep adjusting it throughout the entire live. I was really tempted to watch that masterclass so I could take points and like make sure I reiterated things. But the truth is, my concept of what it means to build a brand is entirely different than what it was last year. So I didn't taint my views or my inspiration or my ideas by going back and watching that masterclass. This time last year, I had this massive epiphany that a brand was an opportunity and an option for women in network marketing, like something that you could do to support your business that you're growing. What I'm realizing today and what I'm transitioning into is that it's not an opportunity, it's a necessity. It's that we need to almost like retrain ourselves to think like, I'm not building a network marketing business. Drop the network marketing off of that. I'm building a business, right? There's plenty of businesses out there that do not create their own products, but they represent other products or a combination of other products. And they all like, they don't say that they're this type of business, right? They're not a fill in the blank. We are business owners, we are entrepreneurs, and every single business out there comes with a reason, comes with an impact, comes with a purpose. And that is really kind of like shines through in the brand that you build. So there's just so much going on in the social media world right now, and a lot of women looking to grow in a lot of different ways. And I truly believe that building a brand is the network marketing's modern way of building a network marketing business, right? Like, gone are the days, this is driving me crazy. Gone are the days where we are cold messaging people. Gone are the days that we're dropping off samples in buildings. Gone are even some of the days where we're doing party after party after party, though I still believe that events, though I want to shift our like mindset around events as well and start to make them more of service rather than of like being an online catalog and being all about sales. Everything is changing. And it's not scary, it's this massive opportunity. And I truly believe that every single human has this massive purpose, right? We've all had unique experiences. We all bring to the table a very unique skill set. So why is it when we join a network marketing business, do we adopt their story? Do we adopt their brand colors? Do we adopt their core values? Do we adopt their marketing strategies and their marketing images and graphics and department and all those things, right? Why do we become this walking, talking billboard to the way that they tell us to build a business when you get to do it all your own? And not only do you get to do it, but it's going to be freaking amazing when you do. And your business is going to grow and rise in a way that you cannot even imagine when you start to actually make it yours, right? And I wanted to first talk about the difference between a business and a brand. This is something that I talked about last year, and I still truly believe this at my core, but a business is kind of like the structure, right? It's the building that it's in. It's the like spreadsheets that it has. It's the products that they sell. Like it's the things. It's like the way, it's the box around it, right? It's the packaging. What a brand is the essence. It's a personality. It like the business makes everything happen. The business gives like a way to sell the things, like the way to make an income. But a brand is what makes people feel things. A brand is what like creates lasting memories, creates lasting like impact. When you can create a brand, you will never have competition in the marketplace again. And in network marketing, the one thing that is very, very different about our industry to other industries is that we essentially line ourselves up with the competition, right? Like we are selling the same things that like hundreds, if not thousands of other people are also selling. So building a brand is going to be that linchpin that actually sets you apart from every other person that is repping the same things. So if you continue to adopt your company's story, you are replicatable. You are like every other person, and showing up on social media will look the same as what it looks like on 15 other accounts. And what I want you to know is that your customers, they also know other Norwex reps. They also know other Pampered Chef reps. They also know other Stella and Dot stylists, right? But you are the only one that can do things your way. You are the only one that can shine a light on the story that you lead and the things that you bring to the table. And what makes you different is also what makes you powerful. And a lot of the times when we get to the root of our own story, our products that we're representing, our companies that we signed up with, it typically makes sense, right? It typically lines up with so many of our own core values and all of that good stuff. And so as you're building this brand for yourself, what I want you to remember is that it's not your company's story that you're telling anymore. Your company may have this incredible story with the founders having these unique things and blah, 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 blah. But when you continue to share that, they go and shop a website or they go and shop with somebody else because it matters just as much, right? Because they're supporting the company and the company's mission and the company's story and the company's purpose. You have your own unique story, your own unique purpose, and your own unique mission on this earth. And it's when we start to like live into our own stories and create the brand around ourselves that all of a sudden, like, you're going to find that your audience is going to grow. And it's going to grow exponentially because it's you that they're going to relate to. And I think that this is even more important for women in network marketing. Or men in network marketing, whoever, but I'm typically speaking to women. I just feel like all of the people in my circle are typically women. I think it matters even more. And the truth is I feel like when I very first started out like wrapping my brain around this, I thought this is complicated. It's more work for people. I'm actually here to make your business easier to build, all the things. But the more I started to dig in with strategies with like my one-on-one clients or in group coaching sessions, I was like, no, This makes content creation simpler. This, like when you can get to the root of why you are building this business, the voice that you want to have in this world, the impact that you want to have, the things that you want to stand up for, what you care about, like when you start sharing that, it actually becomes easier because you know what you're here to say, you know what you're here to do, and your products just kind of become this like the hero inside of that story. And so if we're going to build a brand for ourselves, right? Have I got you excited yet? Have I got you excited? There's kind of two different roads that you can take in building this brand. And you know what's so interesting is that as you like really start to explore the Instagram world and you really start to see a lot of the women, you're going to see opportunities. I feel like every business almost out there should have a network marketing stream of income inside of it, because there's likely a product that resonates with their company and with their brand, that it just makes sense to add that additional stream of income onto. But then I also think that every single network marketing company should also have a brand and a business that feels like something more than the products that they're selling. Like when you are on Instagram and you go onto a profile that simply has head office graphics, you don't feel something, right? It's cookie cutter. It gets nothing to say about the person that's running the account. It's only a representation of a company. You are so much bigger than the company that you have aligned yourself with. And there is something unique that you bring to the business that you're building that no one else has, and that's you. So there's two ways to go about building a brand, kind of two avenues that you can take. The first avenue is to build a brand that is all about you. And like your products really take a secondary stance, and they almost like an influencer status where you're really sharing your voice and your beliefs and yourself with your audience, and your audience grows because they attach themselves to you. But in the background, you can pretty much sell them anything and the kitchen sink because you're so connected to them. Think about, like, I have a gal on my team who adopted a son who has a FASD. And it's a life journey that she is on with her family, not only just the adoption process, but now raising a child with FASD that comes with so many different elements. And her voice, her experiences can help all of these other families that are either just venturing into this journey, have already been in it, can understand and relate to what she's talking about. And in the background of that impact that she's having by sharing these experiences and what she's learning and what she's taking away and what she's implementing and all of these things, in the background is this business that she's building that's all about style, and she making her feel like a person, like a woman, when most of the time being a mom takes up everything, right? It's not that it's not, like, it is still connected, because this was something that she did for herself when the rest of her life felt like it was somebody else. Or there's a lot of women in here that struggle with certain health ailments, right? Think about the things that you have learned through those health ailments that you could teach other people. It's shared journeys, shared experiences, and being able to have an impact simply by showing up and having a voice is what creates really amazing brands. Brands that you remember, brands that make you feel something, brands that, like, that human across that screen, they feel like somebody that, like, you feel connected to, right? Think of some of the brands that you know and that you love and ask yourself why. What makes them what sets them apart? And I think one of the things that a lot of the women that I work with get caught up in is they're like, but I haven't had these like crazy experiences, right, Lori? I wasn't hit by a transfer truck on a highway, dealing with brain injury. But what's interesting is that isn't really even something that's a content pillar inside of my brand. It's just something that happened to me. My content pillars are totally different than that. The things that I talk about inside of my business platform, inside of my brand platform, doesn't actually have to do with like these massive life experiences, but through storytelling on social media, I'm able to have impact by sharing these pieces of my life and the lessons that I've learned throughout them. So I want you to know that even if you don't have something massive that has happened into your life, that your life still has so much value to building the brand that you have. This is why I asked those questions yesterday in the group, like, what's your superpower? Or what are the things that make you you? I talk a lot about in the Engage Your VIP Group Challenge, I talk about your personality pillars, right? These are our connectors. Our personality pillars is like the things that make us. So I'm like a boy mom. I live in the country. I have a cottage. I am an avid Christmas and Hallmark movie lover. I love TV. I love reading. These are the things that, like, when I share them and I weave them into my content, people are like, me too, me too, me too. And that's how we allow people to connect to us on a more human level. My content pillars, like the things that I'm building my brand around, are the things that I deeply believe, are the core values and the ways that I want to change the world, right? So for me, social media strategy is one of my content pillars. It's something that I teach on all the time. You will see it in my free content. You will see it in my paid workshops. You will see it in my programs. I teach on it all the time. Network marketing business tips. That is a content pillar inside of my brand, because my brand is a network marketing business coach, right? So I damn well better show up and give you some network marketing business tips. My other brand pillars, or content pillars, whatever you want to call them, are things like getting over your excuses, more like empowerment, female empowerment, and honest truths, right? Helping women get past their excuses, helping women get over their own selves in order to build that successful business. Those are the things that if you look at the content that I create, you will see that there is one of those notions in every single piece of content that I create, because I've decided these are the 4 to 5 ways that I'm going to change the world through my content. And behind the scenes, I can sell anything that has to do with those content pillars, because I show up and I talk about them all the time. Now, if I had built this out inside of my Stella and Dot world, it doesn't necessarily mean that those would have been different. I just would have probably been weaving, like maybe my social media tips would have been about building a style business or something along those lines, right? My empowerment pieces would be about finding your own style and how style is personality driven, and the way that we show up for ourselves is often reflected in our accessories and the clothes that we put on, and those are things I deeply, deeply believe. It's just that my brand is a little bit different now, and I've evolved and grown over time. And there is one thing I want you to know, is that you're allowed to evolve and you're allowed to grow. So don't get caught up on that this brand has to, like, you have to figure it all out right now. You just have to start living it, right? My brand has changed a lot over the years, a lot. And I would even just say, like, I have just had massive, massive clarity in the last few months. And once you have that clarity and you start showing up and sharing the same things over and over and over again, you'll become known for things. Your brand will actually evoke memory for people. They'll start to relate things to you. They'll get it, right? The other way, I said, you can align yourself with like your core values, and you can build a platform around yourself. Think about this as like an influencer style. Like, do you have something that you firmly believe in? Do you have like a mission in life? Do you have like, what is it like that? That's way number one. And I want you to know that neither one of these, is better or worse. And actually they interweave in a lot of different ways. So you can take a little bit from one and take a little bit from other, whatever you want. The other way is a brand that aligns with the products that you represent. Now, way number one essentially means that you could take your business, pick it up and take it to any single company that you want. So if you have multiple products, multiple companies that you represent, and you truly want to continue to do that. Now, a lot of the times, and actually we have an expert training coming up on this inside the Level Up Academy, how to build 2 companies at one time. A lot of the time, strategically, if you're looking for impact or income and building a team and all those things, it doesn't really make sense because you're dueling 2 different comp plans against one another. But if you have multiple companies, aligning, like creating the brand around yourself is 100% the way to go, unless the products that you represent are truly, truly complementary, unless they really, really work together. For instance, inside my VIP group, I sell both Stella and Dot and Silver Icing. Now, you have to know the reasons why you sell things, right? And the purpose behind the businesses that you're building. And for me, Silver Icing is simply a style fix. I like the credits, I like the discount, and my customers love the clothes. So it actually elevates it elevates my VIP group. It doesn't take away from it. Stella and Dot is what gets my heart and my soul. It's where I pay attention to the comp plan. It's where I pay attention to the incentives. It's where I'm not actively building, but like if I was, it would be where I would be building a team, all that stuff. So you have to kind of figure that out, right? You have to ask yourself these tough questions. So the second way is to build a brand that aligns around your products. So it doesn't necessarily mean you become that walking, talking. In fact, it doesn't mean you become the walking, talking billboard for your company. What it means is that you look for a service that you can provide through your products. Okay, so for instance, if you are Pampered Chef or you are Epicure, if you saw someone that was running online cooking classes and that was their main business, you would be like, oh my goodness, they should become a Pampered Chef rep, or they should become an Epicure chef, maybe even both, because they could spotlight and highlight these products inside every single cooking class that they do. They would have natural secondary income by like layering in this another way for sales. You can go the opposite way when you're building your brand, and you can start with the product and add the services to it. You just have to ask yourself, how do I want to serve my target clients? And like, what do I want to build? Because every single, it's not going to look the same for every single person, right? And the more you can zero in on who your ideal client is, who your target audience is, the more you're going to be able to show up and actually serve them. So for instance, Stella and Dot in style, right? Sure, you can come up and you can talk about generic style. But guess what happens if you zero in on like, this is who I want to talk to. I want to talk to the busy mom who works full time, who has kids, who never has enough time for herself, who hasn't cut her hair in like a year and a half because there's just no extra time. Like, I want to make her feel good about herself. You can speak directly to her with your words, stories, telling your own stories so that she can reflect on them and see your stories in her own story. You can create tutorials for her to help her cut through the clutter of her life. Let's say in style though, alternatively, you want to speak to the retired woman who now feels like she's lost her identity because she's no longer in the corporate world. And she's home and she's going to these functions, but she feels like she's lost that little piece of herself. But you want to give her that piece back through her style, her personality, and her individuality. And you can do that with the products that you represent. 2 very, very different ideal customers, but the same products can serve both of these ideal clients. So tell me if this is resonating with you. Tell me if you can start to see little ideas forming for yourself and kind of what you could start. Here's the thing, you guys, when you start creating content like this, when you step away from being an online catalog, all of a sudden you build something, you have a purpose behind your business, and you build something with sustainability. Because I have to be honest, is I'm sick and tired of seeing women come and go from these businesses because they're using the strategies and the cookie cutter box business that their company tells them to build. And you know what? Life gets in the way and it doesn't matter to them enough, so they step away. right? It's the first thing off their plate because it's the easiest thing to let go of because it doesn't have a driving purpose behind it. When you build a brand and a following that's loyal to you, that you serve, you connect with, it's a community, you're not going to walk away from them because you can see the impact that you're having. You guys, it wouldn't matter what was happening in my life. I care so much about you out there. This business that I'm building is such a piece of my heart and my soul that I would still figure out a way, right? And that's the kind of business that, like a heart-centered business that I think we all really desire to build. Just sometimes we're not sure where to start. Sometimes we're not sure what that looks like, and we don't see a lot of that out there in the network marketing industry. We see the success coming from working the system. And I'm going to say to hell with the system and let's do network marketing like modern business women. Let's build not like our network marketing businesses like as the entrepreneurs that we are. I'm going to check my notes just for a couple seconds, but if you want to brainstorm some of the things that we can kind of build into your businesses, drop your company name below or tell me which one of these ideas resonates with you. Could you see yourself building a platform around you, influencer style, or do you see yourself building a service around your products? Option number 1 or option number 2. So just drop a 1 or a 2 into the comments because I would just love to get a feel for where you're at, where you're feeling inspired, where you could kind of see yourself doing kind of a jumping off point. Candace says, but I'm boring. Guess what? We're all boring in our own lives, right? But like we have to, like you can find lessons in every single thing that you're doing in a given day, any single challenge that you have in a TV show that you're watching when inspiration hits when you're watching it, like you're not in the least. And honestly, Candace, I love watching your style videos. We don't realize that the people that we feel the most connected to, the people that like we follow along and we like, we feel like we're friends with them online, they're not that different from us. It feels attainable for us. And it's interesting because I think that I'm not following along with the Kardashians because the Kardashians do not feel attainable to me. They don't feel connected to them whatsoever. Like it doesn't resonate with me. The people that I follow, people that I take in their content and like love on them and feel connected to them, they're the people that like I can see a little bit of myself in them. And so inside Content Creator, inside the workshop, we're actually going to dig into like how to take your boring and bring it to life. Okay, a lot of 1s in the house. Leanne says 1 and 2, lots of 1s. April says 2. Awesome. I honestly, I think it's both, right? And I think if you're feeling a little bit stuck, then going with option number 2 and simply looking at your products and asking how you can serve in a bigger way is probably like a little bit of an easier route. However, like getting to share your life and simply having impact with your own stories, with your own, it kind of makes the experiences that we go through matter, have impact. I mean, trust me, most days I feel super duper boring too, but I also feel like I have this burning mission inside of me that makes me teach and keep showing up and keep talking about the things. And once you start to build a community that's aligned with that, people will start to talk back to you, and then your feelings of boringness will drip away because you'll be getting that response. But you have to get really consistent and really clear in that messaging and continue to keep showing up like that in order to build that audience. We can't like give up. I love that. So Vero says, I focus on fibromyalgia. I'm going to say it wrong. Fibromyalgia and being gluten intolerant. And I bring NeuroWorks into it. And the truth is it feels really, really aligned, right? I love it, you guys. Okay. I just had this. So different ideas for different companies. If you guys want any ideas, like Norwex, to me, if you were doing Norwex and you wanted to build services out, then I would probably focus on the cleaning aspect. Like you could focus on a cleaning aspect. You could focus on even just helping reduce toxic chemicals on this earth could be one of your content pillars. And Norwex is one of the ways to do that. But like you could also focus on many of the other ways and teach everyday tips on how to do that, right? Like I think sometimes we get really, really focused on the products that we sell. And we think that if we share anything else, it actually takes away from what we're selling. But the more you share, the more people have to engage in, the more people have to latch onto, and the more they're actually going to trust and buy from you. The more like breadth of the wider you can build your business like that, the more you're actually going to have real impact. And I just truly don't believe that we're only here to sell things. I have to believe that there's a deeper value to it. And when you do that, I kind of want to break free of this hustle culture too, right? Like where we're just hustling for incentives, we're just hustling for promotions, we're just hustling to sell things. I want to believe that we are building purpose-driven businesses where even if like we weren't maybe making $1, we would still be like wanting to show up and share. Of course, we want to make dollars too. Nicole says, what if you don't really follow anyone? When you say follow others, is that bad? I mean, to each their own. I kind of look at my own social media activity, what I do, as the way that I hope that other people engage with my content, right? So I don't believe in like going down the rabbit hole and living on social media, but I'm very, very intentional with my use of it. And I don't think if I don't share anybody else's stuff or I don't engage in anybody else's stuff, I don't know that I would get that same energy back into my own content. So I would encourage you to go out and find accounts that you get value from. I truly believe in curating our social media experience and loving those 10 minutes that we carve out to engage in the accounts that give us value inside of our lives, right? Whether that's that you're learning about something that you want to learn about, or it, like for instance, being on this training video right now, or the daily tips that I share with you. Hopefully they're so value driven that you want to engage with them each day. Or they're entertaining, right? Or inspiring or something like that. Just say fibro. Just like how I call you Vero, make the word shorter. It makes it easier. It does feel lined. I totally agree. It does. Okay, you guys. I just had this total brainwave. Total brainwave. So, are you ready for this? Oh, totally fair, Nicole, not spending. I mean, I'm very intentional with my social media consumption as well. I think we can all go down the rabbit hole and live on there, like, and lose hours of our time. So I don't think you should do that. When I click follow, it's because I really truly desire to follow that person and engage in that content. Just the way, and also all the more reason when we put out content to put out content that's valuable, that doesn't waste other people's time, right? That's not just filler. I'm always encouraging my clients to actually like put out content because they care about the content that they're putting out, not for the sake of doing a post, right? A post is a post and that's great. But I want my post to matter. I want my post to be the kind of post that gets somebody to stop and actually think or share or save because they think that it has that level of value. So for me, content creation is an income producing activity inside my business. And I say this all the time. Content is currency inside your business. Content is just not just the thing that's on your to-do list. When you start putting a level of intentionality behind your content, when you start creating because you're building out a brand and you want a voice in this big wide social media world, it changes the way that you produce content. All of a sudden, you think more about the words that you say and what you're putting out into the universe. Because I don't have time to waste anybody's time, right? And it doesn't mean that every single thing that I do has to like rock your world. Sometimes it's just to entertain or to inspire, right? But it does mean that there is intentionality behind every single thing that I do. Every single thing that I do. Yeah, I love that. So Andrea says, that's my intention now. I'm really trying to post value rather than just posting a post. And Andrea, you create awesome content, awesome content. Okay, so I just had this idea, this crazy idea. As I'm going through this, I'm like, oh, you know what? I actually, my Sparkle Building Your Brand course is live on my website. You're more than welcome to scoop it. But I'm going to give you a little 48-hour perk. Anybody who signs up for Content Creator will get access to Sparkle Building Your Brand course. I think it's $111 or $222 on the website. I can't really remember. It's worth far more than that. If you sign up for Content Creator in the next 48 hours, I'm going to give you that as a bonus. Women who are in my all access program, you guys have both of them anyways, so don't worry about that. You will already be into Content Creator. Ladies that are in the Level Up Academy, look for your discount code. I'll still honor this value, like I'll still honor this bonus for you. If you sign up in 48 hours, you will get access to Sparkle, even with your significant discount. So what is Content Creator? This is the workshop that I get asked to do all the time. How to create content, how to create content that has impact. And not only are we going to talk about like the inspiration behind content, the storytelling, the how-tos, the copy, all that, we're also going to talk about the systems that is going to make content creation easier, because content creation can also become this hamster wheel that like you are on and you feel like it's never ending. Last week, within like on one day and a little bit of another, because I was sick last week and not really working to my full brain capacity, I programmed content for all of May and all of June into my business. So the posts that you see made, they've been scheduled ahead of time. And not only that, but I'm really proud of the content that I created. I created a little bit of a system behind it. I'm going to teach you that system. And we're going to talk about a couple different systems. We're going to figure out a system that works for you so that you leave the workshop not only excited and inspired to go out there and create, right? Like, but you're going to come out of it with a system behind creating that content, feeling like you can do it. Like you feel capable of doing it. I'm also going to do a really special training on kind of like your life as a canvas and how to kind of document your life and use that as content in the background, in your grid, all that stuff. We're going to talk about content creation for Facebook and Instagram, how to repurpose it. Like it is going to be a really hands-on workshop, a really interactive workshop, and just we're going to get it done. Content is currency inside your business. If this is not an area where you are currently investing your energy, or if it's an area where you feel overwhelmed and you just want someone to make it easier and make it more inspiring and make it more fun, I am your girl. This is your workshop. Okay? For the next 48 hours, you are going to get Sparkle Building Your Brand course for free if you sign up for Content Creator. The workshop starts next Wednesday. The doors open to the Facebook group on Tuesday. I had to check those facts to be sure, but I'm almost 100% sure, which means that it will be on sale until then. Once the workshop starts, it will no longer be on sale because we'll be rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. You will have lifetime access to what we do in there, and these will be the kinds of trainings that you go back on, because content is also, we level up our content too, right? Along the way. And every single time we hit a new level, we come back and we're like, okay, where's the up level in my content as well? So, there is actually, for the first time ever, I'm introducing a payment plan into one of my workshops. Typically, it's just a one-time fee. So it's $77 or 4 payments of $22 each month. It's a 3-day workshop at this point. I might add in a Q&A, but it depends. I might be able to kind of answer all your questions in real time inside of the actual workshop. All right, you guys. I love you. If you have any questions, please send me a message. I will do a post with the link that you need afterwards. But again, I'm really, really excited about this workshop. It's happening next week. If you cannot join live, that's okay. You will have lifetime access to the replays, and you can, like everything else I do it on your time. Okay. I hope today resonated with you guys. I hope you get really excited about what you can build through your business. The heroes are like the products that you sell are just a piece of your story. You are the whole story. What led you to your products, the experiences that you've had, how you even use your products on a daily basis. If you can really narrow that in, that's going to be magical for you. All right, you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have after this workshop. I love you. I hope you have a really incredible day.